What's up? This is Renergy chiming in. Had this epiphany. I'm here at work. I don't really have a stand or anything, but I have an auto detail business. And anyway, I got this board where I write stuff down. And so I was talking about the serpent and the two trees. It can also be seen as the two threes. We're talking about patterns here. And they use the symbol AAA. And then when we sleep, it's triple Z. So when we're dealing with triple, we're dealing with ripple. So we're dealing with ripple effect. Just also like riddle. We could also look at that as the rib L, which L looks like a rib. Or we can look at ADDM. So we're dealing with ADDM and Eve. And then we also see the word level. So when the serpent climbs a tree, it's climbing up a level. I have this poster here at work, Tales from the Dark Side, and you see the downward triangle in the middle too, with the book, right? So when we deal with the triangle, that's 3. So when we look at 1, 2, 3, it's really 0, 1, 2, 3. So I see 0 as the serpent, sir, zer, and 3 is tree. And here's what I see: 1, 2 is spelled with 3 letters. We got 1 and 2. So 0 and 3 is 4. So with 4 we get the floor and we get the roof. The floor is with the L. So we see the 33 here and the 2 birds. So with the 2 trees, we have the tree of life, right? So we have the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So good and evil, we're dealing with the G and the E. The tree, we're dealing with the T. And life, we're dealing with the L. So we could look at that as get, and we could look at that as guilt. So we're dealing with the heartbeat, which is in the middle, like M. And after M, we have idle, which is like slow down, like motor. So we're dealing with light. You're doing light and shadows here, just like we see live and evil, and how words can have opposite meanings and similar. So we're dealing with this pattern effects here. So when we're dealing with the M, also corresponds with the N, because from the Z to the N is 13, A to the M is 13, which makes up the 26, which is the 8, N, fin, the T, fish fin. We could look at the fish, Ishtar, and in that we see finish, start. So here we see the 3 triangles also in the M, right? That's like a box, like the Gmail symbol. You could also see how they do the abracadabra with the downward triangle. So one's visible, one is invisible. So we could say the N is hidden, just like the sound of the M takes on the N. See, with man and woman, one takes on the last name. Now we have corresponding angles too. We have anything to stand this for? Here we go. This is Renergy dropping epiphanies. Looks like I dropped my marker too. Bear with me. Oh, so here we go. When we look at words like onion, so when you deal with A, you open your mouth. Ah is the first thing you do, which is 2 A's. Maybe 3. So I'm still doing work on that one. Well, obviously we see the three pyramids. You could say it's Orion, which corresponds with thought. In a sense, this is what everything is. So we're making use of thought too, which is like loosening and tightening. So you see like Lucifer, loose cipher, and so when we look at sleep, it's also backwards as peels. So we're dealing with a ripple effect. You see eels, which is electricity. Eel, so onion. If you were to stamp, if this was a piece of paper, and you were to fold it in half, and this was wet ink, and you were to crease it right there in the middle, it would spell the same this way as this way. There'd be no difference. So when we look at it like this, with the M and the N, you know, we see the heartbeat, start of life. 3 triangles up, 3 triangles down, whatever. We do. I want to keep going what I'm doing, but we also see L and then O. We see the L also resembles the I. You can look at it this way. We can see omni because, you know, scrambling. Looking at like vibratory frequency, one eye. And then we also see owl because you can see the W in there. And then we see the owl eyes and the infinity sign. But taking it back to where I was with the onion, in the 3 of life, in Adam's rib. So when we have 13 going both directions with the M and the N. So we see the 1 and the 3 could also be like the L and the M. Break the 3 this way, right? We're dealing with a pattern. Because 1 is what obviously could be L, and 3 M. We're dealing with a pattern, right? LM, elementary, illuminate. And then 3 is 4 with a roof of floor. Damn, I don't want to lose what I was thinking. This shit was fire. With the 1 and the 3, if I watch this again, it'll spark it back to me. So I'm going to do this again when I get my notepad. So we're dealing with a 1 and the 3. Okay, yep, I know exactly what's going at with the onion and the peels. So when we look at the M and the N, we do that with the M and the N. Remember, the N is the same. If you fold it in half, it doesn't change the perspective. However, the W does. So M is the 13th letter, which is 4. N could be 13 this way, 444. It could be dealing with the 12 disciples too. And 23 is W. The 5 is also dealing with the L and the U. So you can see the Lucifer there. But also Jesus walking on water. Also the 5444. So we're dealing with the 1 oddball. like Cyclops is cycle odds. So we're dealing with odds. We're dealing with one neo on the one rib, the add M to even, N is hidden. So notice when we do that, that's like a cipher because we're folding it to make the W in the center. So I got more tie into this with some stuff on colors and in my notes. So let me know if you're feeling this. So things that may say, you know, H is the quiet. We talk about level, level up, level down. You know, H is the ladder. And when you deal with a rung on the ladder, when you deal with a rung, that's a rung on a ladder. The rung could also be the one. You see, we see the two towers, the twin towers. Damn. Then we got the 5 and the 6, which is 11. If you look at the V, like Roman numeral 5. So, like rung, like ring rung, sing song, Samsung, 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 Samsung and Delilah. Samsung is Mason. And he took down 2 pillars in front of the 9va, with the V. That's where I got to get to my notes because I wrote down some notes specifically that tie more into that. And then also getting into the knot and the ankh. And as we're talking about levels, I'm going to be talking about how the ankh, which is from Tayet in Africa. So Tayet, we're dealing with tightening and loosening. And then I'm also with the G-force, also with that symbology and the arrows. Dealing with the 7 and the 6, which is also that 13. Well, with the 7 is the sever or to tighten. And then the 6, if you look at the word tie, it breaks down to 7, and untie breaks down to 6. So these are like epiphanies I have. It's like I like knew it would before I wrote it down. And it's just all this stuff falls in place. So I'm gonna get more into this when I have my notes. I'm gonna drop it while it's fresh in my brain. Run a G. I'm out.